Hi friends, my name is Natalie. I'm a makeup artist with Seint Beauty. Seint Beauty is a 3D cream makeup foundation. So all of our makeup comes in tins like this, which you just pop out. And this is the color. This is already obviously used because this is my own color. And then you put them all in palettes, and we have palettes of many different colors, even more than this, and different sizes. So for example, we have like a little palette like this, which would fit 4 foundation tins, or you could fit 8 eyeshadows because our eyeshadows are half the size. And then we have the 12, which is a double layer. So you would fit 6 in one layer, 6 in the other. And I'm going to show you my 2 favorites that I always recommend. So, well, the one that I just showed you, the 12, and the 18. The 18 is my favorite, and the 12 also, but because you can fit 9 on one layer, and then you have a second layer, which is you can put, here I have my extra Lip&Cheeks and my Vanilla Dust Powder, and you could put some eyeshadows in there. We also have a triple decker, which has the same, like 9 on each layer, but you have 3 layers. So how does this work? So they're all magnetized. So when you receive your tin, you're going to take the color out and you're going to pop it into your tin like this. And it's magnetic, so it won't go anywhere. And then I always start with my darkest shade, and then I'm going to go with my main shade, which is the one closest to my skin color. The first one, the darkest one, would be, I use it for my color corrector for the darkest points in my face. So let's say redness, hyperpigmentation, or blemishes. And then I go in with my contour. And I know it looks really dark, but I'm going to be showing you how I'm using all of these. This is my lightest shade, and this is kind of like a concealer, but we use it to brighten up our face. And then my bronzer, which I absolutely love, as you can tell. There's it's been used. And then I have a Rosegold illuminator right there, just to illuminate and highlight your face. So these are this is my first layer, and then I have Lip&Cheeks, but I could easily add my Lip&Cheeks over in my tin like this. And then you can just build and add on as you go. So, but when you start, you don't have to have all these things. Like when you get a color match, I color match you with a color corrector if you need it. And then your main color, which is basically your main foundation, the one closest to your skin tone. And then your highlight, brightening highlight, which would be like a concealer, but I'm going to show you how to use it. And then I match you with a contour, and then and a lip and cheek. So these are the ones that I would match you with. And then we have the add-ons, that is the bronzer, the illuminator, but you get to choose, pick and decide what works best for you and what you want to get. And my 2 favorite brushes that I'm going to be using, blush and bronzer brush, which the big fluffy end I use for blending and my bronzer. The smaller end I use to put on my my highlights, aka foundation, and my blush. And then my detail brush is this side is like an oval flat side. This is what I use for contour, and it makes the contour application very easy. And then last but not least, the small end of the detail brush is perfect for the delicate under eye area, around the nose, or smaller areas that you want to highlight. So I'm going to start by, I'm going to put on my makeup with you guys. So first of all, if I look at my face, I am going to go in with my color corrector because I have a lot of, I have a lot of redness, and I have hyperpigmentation over here, like a lot of stuff going on in my face. So I'm going to go in with my small end of blush and bronzer, blush and bronzer brush. And all I'm doing, we never swipe into our products, never ever. So I am going in like this, and that's all I did. And I have this much on my brush. So, and now I'm going to go and focus on my redness area. So basically the darkest points of your face. So dab in once at a time. With this makeup, you start with less. Less is more. Because if you apply too much, I promise you will not like your makeup. Your makeup will feel sticky. And it will crease. And you will not like it. So less is more. When you start with less, you can always build because it is buildable. So, but look at how this color corrector is already correcting my redness. So and I'm just like one dab, and I'm buffing it in, never swiping the product on my skin. So I'm you can dab it if you need more coverage, or you can simply just swirl, but that is it. So where I'm the darkest, I'm going to dab because I feel like I want more coverage over there. Same thing over here. Because if you go with a color too light on your darkest area, it will pop through and the color is not going to stay, and it will give you the look, it will create texture. Like it will not look natural. Now I'm going to go in with my smaller end because I want to tackle my under eye around my nose. Same, like my brush is clean once, and I got just a little bit, but just enough. I'm going to go under my nose. And then if you want to add more, you dab in once at a time because you want to apply a very light layer. Brown under my eyes. So as you can see, the smaller end of the brush gives you a more precise application, which I love. So you can go really, and I'm dabbing, basically stamping the product. So you can already see the difference in both eyes. Just a little bit more. And because I'm dabbing once and just doing these types of motions, it's like I have nothing on my skin. Because the key is to apply very minimal product to give you the best effect. Side of my nose, because I have a very, very red nose. So that would be around my mouth. And then that would be it for my color corrector. But if you don't have any issues with redness or dark spots, you wouldn't need to apply this. So once I'm done with this layer, I have what is another one of, other than these two brushes, this tool, the Perfector Sponge. This is the best tool to blend in your makeup and to remove the excess. Now, when you receive it, it is very small in size. And then the secret is you put it under water until it doubles in size. You squeeze all the water out of it, and then you can take a towel and you remove even all the excess water that's in there, and all you want it is to be damp, like cold to the touch. Because if it's too dry, it will remove like everything and move the product around. But if it's just right, it will basically, it removes the excess, like around your wrinkle areas. So if I have to layer my makeup, I will do this in between. So that is it. Now I'm going to go in with my main color, which is the one closest to my skin, and small end of the blush and bronzer brush. And even though I have some color on there, our brushes are designed to they're made specially for the cream makeup. And you can go in from one color to another and the color will not transfer. But the secret is, again, I'm going in once. So with very minimal makeup. Now I'm applying this on my jawline. On my chin, I'm dabbing because where I put my color corrector, you want to dab, because you do not want to move or remove the color corrector that's underneath. But here where I didn't put any, I can just kind of swirl it in. And dabbing or swirling or tapping is your best friend with cream makeup, especially if you have mature skin. Because this makeup sits on your skin. So all over my nose, and then a little bit and if you can notice, I didn't put anything over here because that's where my contour is going to go. And I can add some on my forehead. Now, tiny end to go under my eyes, very, very lightly. Because the color corrector will be a darker shade. And to balance it out, then you go in with your main shade. But very, very lightly. So just like that. So that is it for my main color. Now I'm going in with my contour. With my detail brush, I'm taking the flat end. Now the contour has a different consistency than the other ones. They're not as creamy, they're a little bit harder. So I kind of, you can see, kind of just going like this in my product. So I have this much on my brush, and now I'm going on my forehead, close to my hairline, just like this. And I'm going around, just like, and I'm stopping about there. And then I'm going to blend it into my hairline. And cream makeup is so forgiving, like it blends like a dream. And then I kind of flick it down on the sides of my forehead, but I'm leaving this area with no contour. And this contour will give you dimension to your face. It will sculpt your face. So now I'm going to do my cheekbones. So I'm going to go with the edge of my contour. So you do not want to go too low. You want to find the bone, which is, if you don't know where it is, you go on the top of your ear, and normally that's where it is. And then you just find where the bone starts, and you just draw a line just like that. You stamp it on. Now I'm going to go on the other side. Same thing, you start at the top of your ear and you stamp it on. You never swipe the product, ever, ever. And I stop at the corner of my eye because I do not want to have darkness over here. And then when that is applied, I'm going to go and kind of flick it up so that I'm going to blend it so that it's not just a harsh line. But I'm not going down there. But if you do, it's okay. You can fix it. I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just blending it out so that it's not, so that it looks more natural. And this will give you a lifting effect and give you a cheekbone, which who doesn't want to have a lifting effect, right? Now, another place that I put the contour is along my jawline. When you have jowls like this, like I have a little bit of jowls, you go kind of underneath, on the bone, but underneath, and you just go like all the way, like till behind the ear. I'll do the other side. So on the bone, but under, not on the cheek. And you concentrate on the jowls. And it gives the illusion, this makeup, that's why it's called 3D. It will give you dimension and it will sculpt your face. And it plays with light, so it gives the illusion of your gels not being as droopy. Now, one other place that I love is I have this turkey neck, or if you have a double neck or a turkey neck, you take your contour and you bring it down. And this will really help to camouflage it. Because of the darkness, it won't draw attention to it. But it's not dark, like you can't see that there's no lines, like you blend it so well. It blends so well. Now, this is the last place I use my contour. I'm going to contour my nose. This is totally optional. You take the edge of your brush into your contour. Just kind of wiggle it like that. Now, to contour your nose, because I have a huge nose, wide, I want to give it the appearance to be smaller. So you never go on the sides. I go on, you find, well, the top of your nose, the bridge of your nose, you go on each side of it. And I start here because this is the widest, and I stamp a line, just like that. And I'm going on the other side. with my bad hand. I'm going to put some more on my brush. And I stamp it on, just like that. And then I kind of stamp it on the tip of my nose, because my nose is extra wide. Now, don't worry about these lines. I'm going to take care of those afterwards. So now I'm going to go in with my brightening color. So my brightening color, which is like the concealer, but it's to bring light back into the center of your face. So the small end of my detail brush, I go in very lightly, one tap, and then I'm gonna go on the side, like on the inner corner of my eye, down the side of my nose, and then just on the outer corner of the other eye, just like that. Because we do not want to do a big triangle with our brightening highlight, because it will just accentuate lines, wrinkles if you have them, and it will make your makeup feel and look cakey. So inner corner of my eye, going down the nose, and then at the end like that. And then I can add a little bit over here, a little bit over there. And then I'm going to go in with my finger and just do a line in between my contour on my nose. So now I'm going to go blend it out. So I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. So I tap on each end, and then I go and I marry both together. Because remember that with especially mature eyes, the skin under our eyes is very thin and very delicate. And if you're noticing, I am not going very close to my lashes, because I want it to look as natural as possible. And then I go and I blend this area. And you can also apply some here, but you have to be careful. Like, I don't do it because I have a few lines and some texture a little bit. So too much, if your makeup is too light, it will draw the attention. It will bring them out. So now I'm going to go and blend in my nose. So I start with the lightest, and then I go down. Don't go on the side of your nose, because you don't want the sides of your nose to be dark. And then you kind of bring it up into your eyebrows. I have to be careful when I contour my nose, because my nose is so red. But contouring the nose is completely optional. Just to make sure that it's all blended. So that is it for... Now I'm just going in with my fluffier just to blend, to make sure that everything is blended. So my contour is there. So now I'm going to go in with my sponge. Just go in all over, and I just dab it. I press. And this will remove the tackiness, the excess makeup that you may have. And it also blends everything together. Now I'm going to go in with my bronzer. Bronzer is optional. You don't have to use it, but I love my bronzer because I want to have that beautiful sun-kissed glow that I would get in the summer. I want it all year round. So this is my bronzer right there. As you can see, I love it. It's been loved. The fluffier side of the blush and bronzer. So I'm going in, dabbing like this, and the bronzer is applied where the sun would kiss your face. So on the forehead, like that, and then on the cheekbone, so on the top part of the cheek, where the sun would naturally hit you. So you deposit the color and then you can kind of buff it in. So you can do like a C, forehead, cheek, and then you go down, and I do my neck because I want my neck. If your neck is lighter than your face, it's a very good way to add warmness to it. Now I'm going to go do the other side. And the bronzer, you can apply as little or as much as you want. And if you go in, let's say you apply like too much, it's okay because our bronzer has no coverage. It's sheer. So it will blend like a dream again. It blends so well. So on top of the cheeks, top of the cheekbones, on the forehead, down the neck, and then you can go and add a little bit on the chin if you want to, a little bit on the nose. So where the sun would kiss your face. Now I have a little blemish over there. I'm going to go hide it with my color corrector with the small end of my brush. Just like that. And then after you're done, if you still, oh, I want to go blend a little bit more. Still forgiving. If there's too much, you just blend it away. Not too much because then you'll remove everything. So this is the bronzer. And then where was I? Yes, if you're done doing that and then you kind of notice that if you went a little bit too low, you take the small end and you go into your mane. I do a dab of mane, matte, a dab of brightening, but just a lighter shade, and you can kind of clean it up underneath, and then it just cleans up that line. And then you can just go and fix. Where you find that you have still some redness or hyperpigmentation. This is a very stubborn one that I have there. Now, I'm going to go in with my lip and cheek color. For my lip and cheek color, I am going to go, which color am I going to use? I'm going to go with one of my favorites, which is Black Cherry. Looks very scary in the tin, like it looks very, very dark, but it's a very sheer color. Like you can put it on dark, and then look how sheer and light that you can apply it. So one dab, that's all I did, and then I start at the top of the ear. And one rule, if you don't really know where to go, is you do 2 fingers like this, and then you apply it there, because you don't want to draw too much attention on the middle of your face. So same thing over here, and this goes basically on the cheekbone, on top of where the contour was. So my contour was over there. I'm applying my blush color over there. And then after you apply it, you just go and you blend it in. And you flick it. Make sure you go like into your hairline. And after you blend it, and you don't have a lot on your brush, then you can kind of go a little bit over there if you want to have more color. And again, that's preference. If you feel that you would like more color over there, you go ahead and you do it. And then if you want to have even more color, if you find that it's not dark enough, you just go in one more dab. And then you can flick your brush around on the fluffy end and kind of lightly, or you just kind of blend it in. So it gives you, black cherry is like it's like a dark berry color. It's a very popular color. It's one of the favorites of many. And then if I want to go fix it, if I find that I went a little bit too much at places, see how easy it is to put too much. I went in too hard on my tin, but that's okay. I just wiped just a little bit on my hand to remove it on my brush, and then I just go and I blend it. That's all I do. So that is it for my cheek color. I do love my blush. Now, I'm going to take my sponge, just go in like that. I'm going to go in and line my lips with my multitasker brush. This brush is a beautiful brush. The smaller side, you could do your lips, you can do your eyeliner, you can fill in your brows, or you can use the bigger side again for your lips and to spot treat, to kind of put, you can even put contour and bronzer as eyeshadow. But I'm going to use my contour to line my lips. So I'm going to use the bigger end. I'm just going with my contour color, lining my lips. And underneath, you can even go a little bit lower to give you the illusion of having fuller lips, because I have like no lips. I have tiny lips. And then you can just kind of blend it so you don't have like that. And you can also add just a little bit like on a Cupid's bow. And it just gives you that little fullness look. Now I'm going to go in with my lip and cheek color, which is for cheeks and lips. So, and all of our makeup are so versatile, like I said. And if you take like a matte lip color, you can even use that on your eyes. So the contour, bronzer, matte lip color can go on the eyes. I'm using my multitasker, but you could also use your finger. Then just kind of go and there you have it. So this is black cherry. It looks scary, almost black in the tin, but in real life, on your skin, it's completely different. Now, one last thing that I am going to use is our illuminator, which is, in the makeup world, they call this a highlight. But this is, I'm using my sponge, going into my illuminator, and then I'm just going to dab it on top of my cheekbone. And this is going to give you like that glow. And I love using the sponge. You can also use your finger, but I do love using the sponge only because it blends at the same time. You can go higher if you want, you can go lower, but it gives you that shine, that little glow where you want it. So that is the illuminator. The illuminator can also be used on your Cupid's bow. It can be used on the tip of your nose, on your nose, but my nose is too big for that, so I stay away from it. But if you have a tinier nose, it is very beautiful there. You can also use it under your brow bone to give you that little lift over there. So that is it for my 3D makeup foundation. Now the last thing that I am going to do to use is my Vanilla Dust powder, because I tend to have oily skin and I want to kind of mat it out just a little bit. So I'm gonna use, you could use any brush, but I love the, we have this powder brush with, that's made perfectly to go with the Vanilla Dust. And when we have like 2 different bundles. When you buy these 2 together, you save $15. And also, the other bundle that we have is the blush and bronzer with the bronzer. If you get them together, you save $15. So I'm gonna go in with my Vanilla Dust, and not a whole lot. And under the eyes, you have to be very, very careful. Never swipe. And I'm just gonna go tone it down. But if you like a shiny, dewy, or not shiny, but like a dewy look, and you don't have like oily skin, you can totally skip the powder. Now I just flip the side, or you can use any side that you want. And all of our brushes are all double-ended, multifunctional, excuse me. And you could do your whole face with one brush. But my 2 favorites are the blush and bronzer and the detail brush. So I just kind of apply it, just a tiny, tiny bit of powder, just to set everything in place. But under the eyes, very lightly dab, because you do not want to accentuate your lines and wrinkles. So this is your 3D basic application makeup. So I do personalized color match. I have a form that you fill out and you send me a selfie, and I can give you a customized color match. So you don't have to pick out your own colors, because when you go on the website, these colors can be very intimidating, and the colors that you would think would be for you would probably not be. So that's what I'm here for. I look at your skin and I can see, my stomach is growling, and I can see exactly what colors that would go for you, for your skin tone. So I'll post my link for the color match, and I give you all your colors and all the information that goes with it. So this is my look. So thank you so much for watching.